In this video, we're going to add a check button. So a check button allows the user to select from multiple different options, and then we can do something with the option. Slightly different from a radio button, as we're now allowed to select more than one option, while a radio button lets us only select one option at a time. So I've got a very basic window set up. I've added a button, and this button, when clicked, will run this function up here, which is currently empty. So what's the first thing we want to do? Well, we want to set up a variable to hold our value for all the checkboxes that we've got. So I'm going to do result1 equals check, just equals IntVar at the moment. So this is saving the result as an integer. And then result2, which will be for our second check button, also is going to be an IntVar. Next, we want to actually create our checkboxes. So let's have check button number 1. Now we need to do a couple of things. First, we're going to attach it to the window. Next, we need to give it some text. So I'm going to call this Python. Maybe I want to do a sort of programming questionnaire. Then variable is where our results go into. Where we want to go to result1. Let me just check that I put a capital for results. No, so just be careful with your naming conventions as well, because it can mean that you have to go back through your code a lot of the time. So result1. And now we want to give it two values. We want to give it an onvalue, so what is the value of it if it is ticked when we get the data from it, and an offvalue. Now I'm setting mine as binary, so true and false, but you can also set this as much more complicated options. For instance, if you had 8 options of color, you might want to say if it's this option, then add this color to a paint palette, or add this string. So you can change these to be strings or booleans or any other values you want to be, but I'm just going to set it that if it's on, I want to return 1. If it's off, I want to return 0. Once that's all done, you can close the bracket on that one. And now the next step we have to do is actually add it to our layout. So we're going to do c1.pack. And I'm just going to get a copy of this just so I've got another one on my screen, just so it actually looks like we've got some more options than just one. We'll change this to C++, and we want result2. Apart from that, everything else can remain the same. I still want to return a 0 or a 1. So to start with, all we're going to do is just print those values, just so we can do a bit of a test. So we're going to do print result1.get plus result2. .get. Now once that's done, we can run our code. And you'll see that it's a square box, not a round box. Big difference between the two. We'll hit Python and we've returned 1. We'll do C++ and we've returned 1. If we do that, we're getting a 0. Okay, now actually it's adding both of these in integer, which is why you might notice why I'm only getting one result. So I'm just going to turn them into a string. That's something you bear in mind. This also means that you can add these values together. There might be a use for that. Maybe you want to see the total number of boxes ticked. But this should give us individual values now. So 1 0, 1 1, 0 1, 0 0. So that's all well and good, but we can actually do some more complicated stuff. First, we can actually add a command to our check button, because it is a type of button. It does support the command function, so you can add that. So you can have it so when you click on it, it will return something. I'm not going to do that on mine, but that's something you can play around with on yours. And the next thing we want to do is actually make this more accessible at the top here. So instead of just returning all values, we might want to actually return a set number of values instead of just returning some binary digits. So we're going to do the if result1 dot get equals 1. Then we're just going to do a print message that says Python is great. Then we're going to do another if And you notice I'm not doing an elif, I'm doing just another if. This means that both have the option to fire if both are true. And then we're going to do print C++. It's great. And we can also add some Boolean operators into this as well. So I can say if result1.get equals 1 equals 0. Let's do 0 this time. And result2.get equals 0, which means they've not picked either option. Print you do not like either option. So this covers nearly all options now, so we should be able to get something when we're doing everything. So let's just make sure it runs. And you'll see if I tick Python is great. I can tick both and get both of them to print out. And then if I untick both of them and do submit again, you do not like either option.